Hello everyone, this is Daniel from FitnessBlender.com, and today I'm going to be taking you through a total body warm-up routine. Now, this is going to be really nice and quick. It's going to be about 5 minutes long. We're doing 10 different exercises and we're doing each one for about 30 seconds each. So let me go ahead and get my timer started and we'll jump right in. So our first one is going to be a push-pull. So just nice and slow, moving back and forth. You're going to press your arms out and back in. So let's go ahead and get started. So press them out, work those muscles against each other, slowly squeeze those arms back again as tight as you can behind you. Press them back forward again, roll those shoulders forward as much as you can, contracting that chest. So nice, slow, controlled motion, just back and forth, really making those muscles work against each other every single second. Just keep that motion going. Got about 10 seconds left to go until we switch on to our next one, which is going to be a high knee march. Just keep it going a little bit longer. And onto that high knee march, nice and slow. Just bring those knees up as high as you possibly can. This is less about how fast you're going and more about the range of motion. So start something relatively small and then start building into a bigger and bigger range of motion as those joints and muscles start warming up a little bit. Just keep that motion going. Like I said, start really trying to force that range of motion. The further you get into this, trying to get as much range of motion out of each motion as you can. Got about 5 seconds left until we move to our next one, which is going to be an arm circle. So nice big circles with those arms. And switch it. So all the way around, nice big circle, pause the bottom, reverse it. Nice big circle back around the opposite direction. So trying to move at that maximum range that arm will allow through that entire circle. So nice and close to your chest, over your head, back behind you as tight as possible, and then reverse it. Got about 10 seconds left till we move. 5 more seconds. We've got a deep squat coming up next. Nice slow motion, but really nice deep range of motion. So down as low as is comfortable for you. If you can't go as low as I can, that's perfectly fine. Just go as low as is comfortable. You want to try to really open up those hip sockets, work on those knees, warm those knees up, as well as just kind of getting all the rest of those muscles that are supporting muscles warmed up as well. So nice big full range of motion. Start speeding that motion up just a little bit as you feel more and more comfortable as those muscles start warming up for you. And let that relax. We've got an arm circle rotation, so those arms are going to rotate as well as one leg at a time. So as you rotate out with those hands, that leg comes out, rotate in, then switch hands, switch legs that is, and back in. Just keep alternating back and forth, trying to rotate as much as you can, warm up those rotator cuff muscles, and as well as that hip joint, those hip flexors. Just nice and slow, rotating back and forth, trying to get as much range of motion as you can on each one of these as well. Let that relax. We're doing a fluid warrior next, so starting nice and straight and tall, hands up, out to one side, over and down, stretch up, back to that warrior, and back to the center. Same thing on the other side. So out, over, up, back to that warrior, and back to the center. We're going to do it one more time, really nice and quick. Out, stretch it, back to the center. All right, let's do the same thing. Moving on to the next one, which is going to be a torso rotation. So nice and slow, rotating left to right. If you want to pick that knee up, kind of start pushing it in the opposite direction. You're trying to rotate those shoulders. Try to push that hip across. Trying to get as much stretch on that torso as possible. This isn't a quick motion. It's just a really nice tight squeeze, nice tight contraction as you rotate those shoulders left to right. Should be feeling it through that torso primarily. Good, let that relax. We're gonna move on to up and out. So nice quick motion, kind of get a little hop going with those feet. One knee comes up and over, then the other knee comes up and over. Just alternate back and forth, trying to open your hip up as much as you can, as well as bring your knee up as high as possible. Warming those calves up, warm that hip joint up. Just keep it going, nice quick motion. We're almost done, just 2 more to go. 5 more seconds on this one, then we're gonna do just a traditional boxer shuffle. So just a boxer shuffle, stand up on those toes, just keep those feet moving. Kind of slowly bringing that heart rate up. Should be starting to feel a little bit warm by now, actually temperature warm. Maybe getting a little tiny bit of a sweat going, but depends on your ambient temperature, how warm it is in the room you're in. Just keep it going. You got about 10 seconds left. You got one more exercise to go. It's gonna be jumping jacks. This is gonna bring that heart rate up really nice and high and get you possibly even to the point where you're starting to break a pretty good sweat. And start them up. Full jumping jack, 30 seconds. Keep those arms and legs contracted nice and tight. Nice quick motion. Speed it up as you can. So even though this is a warm up, you want to go just as slow as is comfortable for you. But if everything's feeling nice and limber, then go ahead and push it. No sense in not getting a few extra calories burned while you're doing it. 5 more seconds to go. Nice tight squeeze on all those muscles. And let it relax. All right, that is your warm-up. This warm-up is complete, so make sure you get over and do that next routine. Get that body nice and tired. See you guys next time. Hey everybody, this is Daniel and Kelly with FitnessBlender.com, and today we've got a great core workout for you.
So we're going to be doing groups of 4 exercises twice through, 45 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. So this will be a nice quick transition, and we're going to totally burn out the entire core.
We're going through 3 groups, so by the time we're done with this, you should be basically unable to sit up. That's the point.
Goal.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this thing. Like I said, we've got 45 seconds. Like Kelly said, we've got 45 seconds through of each exercise, 4 exercises per group, and then we get a little longer break in between. Starting off with jackknife crunch. Fully out flat, harder version, watch me.
And I'll be showing, the easier version. So just keep a bend in your knees to make it quite a lot easier.
For the harder version, you want to keep those legs perfectly straight, those arms perfectly straight. Try to keep them hovering off the ground if you can. You want to make sure you also keep that lower back flat against that mat the entire time. As you drop them down, you're going to want to pull them up.
You can always alternate back and forth between the hard and easy version as your endurance allows, just to keep it challenging for yourself.
Starting to get a nice burn. And next one is a knee tuck crunch. We'll be starting this in about 10 seconds. So sit up on that tailbone. Easier version is hands down the ground. Harder version, hands up.
So even if you're using your hands, try not to help too much. If you need to, just use it as a basic support for balance, but do as much of the work as you can with those abs.
Try to keep that back relatively flat. Try not to roll over or hunch over, especially as you lean back. You want to keep that back perfectly flat. Whew, that burns already. So you should be feeling this not only in your abs, but you might be feeling it quite a bit in your quadricep, the top of that thigh.
If you need to, you can always rest in between repetitions, so set your feet down and then extend back out.
All right, side crunches next. So we're going to start on your left side first. Be laying out with those legs leaned off to the left, crunching up, so focusing on your right side. Get a nice tight squeeze. If you want to make this harder, you can always use a dumbbell, just hold it in your hand, and just press it straight up over top of your shoulder.
No timer. Where are we at? There we go.
And switch over to a back bow crossover. So flat out on your stomach. Arms straight out. You're going to kick your arms and legs off to the left. And as you pick them up, you're going to bring them over top of an imaginary block, down to the right, and back over again. If you can, keep them hovering. If it's too hard for you, you can let them touch down each time. Or you can actually pull those hands back to really make it easy. How you doing over there?
Good.
Definitely comes in handy to have a really cushy mat to do these types of exercises. A yoga mat just won't cut it.
So you're also going to be feeling this in your lower body as well, definitely your thighs and your butt.
All right, starting this whole thing over again.
Round 2.
Back over to that jackknife crunch. So flat on your back. Just keep those lungs open, try not to hold your breath.
It helps to inhale, resistance. Inhale during the easy part and then exhale. For example, here it would be when you're squeezing back up.
Just keep going to that happy place. It starts to burn. Just try to keep pushing through it or take a really, really quick break and start in again.
Yeah, these are pretty long intervals, so they're meant to be kind of a burnout round, so don't feel bad if you need to take a quick breather. Great.
All right, up on that tailbone for that knee tuck crunch. Ready? If you're like us, you're probably already starting to feel a little bit of a burn going, or a lot of a burn. And just think, this is only the first group of 3.
Woohoo!
Ooh. Like I said, if you need to give it a break, that's perfectly fine. Try to let it relax for just a couple seconds and then go right back into it again. All right, side crunch again. This time legs crossed over to the other side. So lay those legs off to the right, focusing on the left side. Crunch it up nice and tight. So you're not going to feel like you have a ton of range of motion on this, but you want to make sure you're squeezing as tight as you can, trying to get that shoulder down towards that hip. Just keep it going.
Right.
One more.
Back bow crossovers.
So arms and legs out nice and straight, starting off to the left or right. Pick them up and over, and back again.
Get as much range of motion as you can out of this exercise without throwing your body in each position. You can be really smooth with it.
So by doing this kind of rocking back and forth motion, not only are you focusing on your lower back, you should be feeling it through your glutes and hamstrings a little bit, upper body, and those obliques. All right, that's the end of our first group. We'll take a short little break, and then we're gonna start back into that next group. So this next one, same thing, 4 exercises, running through the same thing, 45 seconds on, 10 seconds break to switch to the next. All right, let me go ahead and reset this thing here. What do you think?
Ready?
You want one more break? You ready to go?
Okay.
All right, let's do it. All right, starting to back up, our first one is going to be a crisscross crunch. So laying flat on your back. Hands behind your head, one knee tucked up. Start them up.
Oh, you're doing it different. Okay. I told you this was a crisscross crunch.
Oh, am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I am reading it wrong.
Crisscross crunch.
Yeah, I'll do a crisscross crunch. Making
Like
everybody do
Ryan
the
Kelly.
different exercise.
So if you want to make it easier, you can do one crunch up, then kind of relax for just a second in between, then do your next crunch. Otherwise, try to make it a really fluid motion where you're never really resting all the way on the ground.
And to make this one really, really difficult, don't bring your knee in past the 90 degree on your hip.
Is it so
and
much
knee.
harder?
Hooey.
Right. Russian twist.
All right, Russian twist. Up on that tailbone. Feet pulled in as close as comfortable. Back perfectly flat. Arms in front of you. Just rotate left to right.
So for the harder version, take your feet up off the ground.
Actually, lean back a little bit more.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Not
just
gonna be
rest
doing
your
that
feet on the ground.
one. The further you sit up, the more you're just perfectly straight up and down twisting, the less those abs have to work. So the further you lean back with a perfectly flat back, the harder you're gonna have to work. The more muscle development, muscle strength you're gonna build. How you doing over there?
Tired. I don't work my abs very much. This specifically. Feeling yesterday's workouts right about now.
Yeah. All right, side hip raises next. So start on your left side, on your elbow. Knees for easier version, feet for harder version. Bring that hip straight up and back down. Keep a nice straight line through your body.
So you're definitely going to feel this in the side that you're dipping down to, but you should also feel a little bit through your upper body as well as through those legs, especially the leg that's supporting you and helping you do that lift.
Try to keep those hips perpendicular to the ground. Try not to let them lean over forward. Your body's gonna either try to lean back or lean forward to try to get some bigger muscle groups like your abdominal muscles to help out. But try to keep them sideways.
Alright, so now back bow pull.
Back bow pull. So flat on your stomach. Arms and legs are gonna come up. So squeeze them up. Squeeze those elbows back to your sides. Back out and down. Hover them for the harder version. Back up. Squeeze. Out and back down. If this gets too hard for you, feel free to let those arms and feet actually touch down to the ground each time. But try to do the hardest version you can for as long as possible. A nice, slow, controlled motion. All right, get to start that over again. So another crisscross crunch, or what was supposed to be a cross crunch. All right, hands behind your head, alternate back and forth. Try to get a good rotation through those shoulders. Whew. You're doing better than I am.
Don't compare yourself to others, Daniel.
Oh, come on. I'm a little competitive.
Russian twist. Inhale down.
Okay, hands out in front, back flat, rotating left to right.
Okay.
Just go to that happy place. Yeah. Keep pushing through it. Try to keep everything nice and solid. Ooh. Nice flat back. Youch.
Yeah. You can always hold on to a weight to make it harder. Remember.
Have fun with that. All right, side hip raise. This time on the other side. So
knees bent or feet stacked, whichever you can control, or whichever is harder for you that you can actually still control. Try to pull that shoulder underneath you down towards that hip. Try to get a really nice squeeze, press that hip up. Boy, man, that burns. All right, one more, so back bow pulls, and we'll get you a nice long break.
Right.
Everything up, pull those elbows back, back forward, and down. Anything giving out yet?
No, not quite. Everything's complaining but not giving out. Squeeze, make each of those movements count. This one helps encourage better posture, really, too, if you're doing the arms right.
Yeah, really focus on pulling those shoulder blades back. Whew. All right. That was the last one of those for that group, which means we have one group left to go. Before we start up that one, let's get a little bit of a water break. See you guys in just a second. All right, guys, we only have one group left to go, so let's go ahead and get them started. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right.
We're doing toe touch drops.
Yes, toe touch drops
These are
first.
kind of fun. I mean that relative to the other exercises. They're totally fun.
More fun than others. All right, so legs start up.
Here.
Crunch up towards those toes. One leg drops. Back up, crunch up again. Then the opposite side.
So for the easier version, you can always do this. Keep the knees bent. It makes for a little less resistance on those legs.
My body's giving out on me. Everything's shaking.
We did some heavy leg workouts for you guys yesterday that we're kind of suffering from still. This one's good for your flexibility too, so on that note, if you are feeling inflexible, again, you can bend at the knee. Just do what you can.
All right. Next one is reverse crunch. Oh yeah, same position. All right, so legs up again. Hands down on the ground this time. Very slowly, just shove those hips straight up in the air. Try not to swing your legs. A lot of people, when they do this, they'll get a good leg swing going. Try just to push straight up. Both of them water in our stomach, sloshing around. I'm not gonna be able to do this when we're laughing too hard.
Sound like waterbeds.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're doing the ab rocker.
Ab rockers.
Sounds like
All
a
right.
piece of 80s ab equipment.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Might
think there
be.
is one still.
All right, so a little bit of a crunch and then just twist left to right.
If you want to make it easier, come down and rest in between each. Make it harder, but never really relaxing those abs. Always hovering.
A good way to do this is to focus on trying to reach, like you're almost trying to reach down towards your toe on each side, but keeping those shoulders up off the ground. So you're going to be feeling this in your abdominal muscles quite a bit from having to keep your shoulder blades up and in those obliques from tipping left to right. apparently chose the wrong shorts for this workout.
Sliding.
All right, swimmers are next. So over onto your stomach. Arms and legs out, about shoulder width, hip width apart. Left hand, right foot comes up first, down, and then opposite arm and leg up and back down. So easier version is just letting those hands and feet touch the ground each time and keep your face hovering just a bit off the ground. For the harder version, you hover everything all the way off the ground. To protect that neck, make sure you're always looking down towards the ground. You don't want to crane your neck up or tip it off to the side, left or right.
So this is another one that you're going to feel through your back and your glutes and your thighs as well.
Try to keep those arms nice and straight. Time to start bringing them in close.
Right.
All right, starting them over again. So back to that toe touch drop. Just alternating back and forth, nice and slow.
Hey.
Harder for you a little bit.
That's going to kick you. Oops, my leg slipped.
Just actually drop them off to the side. Just keep pushing it. Focus on that form. Try to go as long as you can until those muscles are about to give out. Give yourself a little bit of a break and go right back into it. Or get through the whole thing without stopping if you can.
2, 1. Right.
All right, reverse crunch next.
Water bellies.
Yeah. All right, hands down, legs up. Press it up. Whew, man, my quadriceps are giving out on me. My body doesn't want to keep my legs straight.
I can see him shaking.
Yeah. That's what I get for doing a ridiculous leg workout yesterday.
So
Boy.
there's 2 intervals left.
All right,
Almost done.
ab rockers. Crunch those shoulders up, twisting left to right. Keep those abdominal muscles pulled in nice and tight, so concentrate on pulling that belly button down to train those abdominal muscles to contract in and flat rather than pressing out like they're gonna typically want to. This will help you keep a nice flat stomach, generally speaking. Just keep it going. Keep those shoulders up.
Right.
All right, last one. All right, full swimmers. Left hand, right foot, and then over the other side. Try to keep them hovering if you can. Keep those lungs open. No holding your breath. Just kind of go at your own pace. Try not to move them too fast. You want a nice tight squeeze at the top each time. So really focus on that. Wow. And let it relax. All right. That was the last exercise, the last group.
So if you're not going directly into another routine right now, make sure that you do a cool down and stretch. Otherwise, yeah.
This workout is complete. We'll see you next time,
Good
guys.
job, guys. Hey guys, it's Kelly from fitnessloader.com, and I've got a total body cool down and stretch for you today. So we're going to start off with a warrior pose. So go ahead and lunge forward, stretch and lean into that stretch as far as you need to feel it along this inside thigh and this one as well, the leading one as well. Just get comfortable here. Like I said, lean into it as far as you need to go to feel a stretch. I'm going to lean forward, rest this forward hand on your knee, point up towards the ceiling, look towards your hand. Now lean forward into a nice deep lunge here. Make sure you're taking deep breaths all throughout this. It's supposed to be nice and relaxing. Move into warrior on the other side, come back up, lean forward the opposite direction. So we're moving through these poses pretty quickly. It's meant to be a quick cool down and stretch, so this is way better than nothing if you're looking for something to stretch out after a hard workout. I'm going to lean forward, point that opposite hand towards the ceiling. Move into that lunge. All right, kick that up back so you're in a high plank and just act like you're trying to push your heels towards the ground so you can get a good calf stretch. Now walk it up into a downward dog. Press down. All right, walk back up the rest of the way. Stay here for just a second. Get a nice lower back and hamstring stretch. Only go as far as you can without any pain. All right, come back up. Pull your foot up towards your butt. Stretch at the front of your thighs. All right, switch to the opposite side. Come back over here. Arms overhead. Reach. Rock back and forth a little. Stretch out those sides. Come sweep down. Back down towards your toes. Walk it out. Back out to a downward dog. For just a second here. This has got to be one of my favorite stretches after a good workout. All right, now take this leg, tuck it under your body, and fold forward. If you have to, you can stop up here. It's all about how flexible you are, and you have to listen to your body. All right, walk back up slowly. If you can, bend this knee and pull this back up towards your body. Alright, switch legs, tuck this one under, and again fold over that leg. Alright, walk back up slowly, bend at the knee, and pull this leg up towards you. Alright, let that leg back down. Straighten both legs out, lower down, press up into a cobra. Press back into a child's pose. Press down and away from those arms so you can get a good shoulder stretch. And let it relax. All right, good job guys. This workout is complete.